back to our regular programming, everybody. As we mentioned, we asked you to send your questions regarding Fabrizio's show today, and you replied. Thank you so much for all of them. Now, remember, we can't answer all of them. We picked the best ones, and, I feel like we've done a good job, and you did a good job at figuring out which of those are. So let's begin in the league, very well, of course, Serie A. And this one's from Cliff. Cliff, thank you so much. Based on the Mercato and this weekend, as Juve, of course, win so well, both their new transfers scored, including Dusan Vlahovic. And this weekend, are Juve a lock for top 4, Fabrizio? And are they set for a late Scudetto run?
I think yes. I think the answer is yes. I see Juventus in top 4, maybe in top 3 also. Yesterday, the impact from the new signings, Dusan Vlahovic and Denis Zakaria, was incredible. They scored, but it's not just about scoring goals. It's about the impact they had on the team. It was a completely different kind of team, the atmosphere at the stadium, the reaction from the teammates. They were bringing what they exactly needed Juventus, some fresh air. They needed new players, new top players in the right position. They were needing a number 9 like Dusan Vlahovic, and they were needing a midfielder ready to be aggressive and to fight for the team. So top work from Juventus. Again, fantastic January window. Maybe the best club in the world, I would say, for the January window, together with Liverpool, in my personal opinion. And so my answer is yes. I see Juventus playing Champions League next season, 100%, and I see them very well for this second part of the season.
So let me ask you a quick question there. If you see them in the top 4, who is out of the top 4 then?
Good question. I think Atalanta yesterday with Cagliari, they were not so good. Maybe they're feeling a bit of pressure.
They're running out.
In the second part of the season, they are always performing well. So I'm sure that they will be back fighting. Next weekend, Atalanta-Juventus. I think it's a key game. If Juventus will win in Bergamo with Atalanta, they have huge chances to pull Atalanta out of the Champions League race. And so to be Juventus, Napoli, Inter, and AC Milan in the top 4 positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good point. All right, let's move on here to the next question. Rodi Villacorta. Rodi, thank you so much for being part of the show and the family. What do you expect, Fabrizio, from Barcelona going into this summer? I'm assuming striker is a priority. Still really not at the back, Robbie, not at the back, you don't think? But he assumes striker is a priority, still even with Aubameyang in the squad now. What do we expect from Barcelona?
I expect many things to change for Barcelona, to be honest. It will depend, of course, if they will play Champions League. But I think, yes, winning with Atletico Madrid was a statement from Barca. I think was a very good game. So this is the process. And I expect Barcelona going on the market with very clear ideas on many positions. So striker, yes, I agree with Rodi. I see them signing a new striker. They will try for Erling Haaland. There's also Real Madrid and Manchester City. I'm not sure that will be easy for Barcelona, but I'm sure that they will try. They want to go for a top striker. So this is the mission for Barca. They will go for a centre-back. As you mentioned, Luis, I'm sure that they will go on the market for a centre-back because this is something they need. And so keep an eye on Christensen because Bayern and Barcelona are 2 clubs interested in the Chelsea centre-back. And let's see also for midfielders what happens. So many things could happen at Barcelona in the summer, and I expect them to be really active on the market for this summer.
Well, there you have it. Barcelona, a lot of action. Good luck on getting Erling Haaland, Barcelona. If you do, I'm tipping my hat. I mean, no way, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, here's the next one from our friend, Jake Fenner. Jake, how are you, buddy? Will West Ham ever get a striker? West Ham, there was talk about, some players that they wanted. Tati Castellanos being one of them in January. That didn't happen. What about West Ham? Obviously nothing right now, but in the summer, do you expect a lot of movement, Fabrizio?
Yes, to be honest, yes. They wanted to spend big money in January, but they are always really clear with the strategy they have. We sign the players we want, or we prefer to save money and then spend in the following window. This is what they will do. They were proposing 50 million euros to Benfica on the deadline day for Darwin Núñez, and Benfica said no way to sell the player on deadline day, and they wanted way more than this. So this is why the deal collapsed after 5 minutes. But at the same point, it means that West Ham will 100% go for a striker. They were also interested in Gabigol at the beginning of the market, first week of January, but they wanted a loan deal and Flamengo were not accepting. So I'm sure that in the summer they will go for a striker. Yes, I don't know who will be the striker because for Darwin Núñez there will be many clubs jumping into the race, so it's not going to be easy for West Ham. But striker will be a priority. Centre back will be another priority. They wanted Chaletakar from Marseille, but there was no agreement on the loan move, and so let's see what happens in the summer. But I'm sure that they will be busy. So David Moyes will have a lot of impact in the new signings, and they will go for 2 or 3 signings in the summer.
And it obviously depends on where they end up in the table if they do end up getting Champions League, which would be Pretty amazing. All right, let's keep going here from one London team to another one. Mike, how are you, Mike? Can you see Renato Sanches? We're big fans over here, Fab. Renato Sanches, can you see? Yeah, can you see Renato Sanches to Arsenal happening?
I can't say no at the moment because we are still in February. At the moment, Arsenal are not in negotiation with Renato, with his agent, or with Lille. So at the moment, the situation is still quiet. But last summer 2021, Arsenal, Barcelona, and Liverpool were three clubs seriously interested in Renato Sanches. So I would keep them in the list because Renato Sanches is kind of players that you keep in your list for long term. He's not a player you have just for a panic buy. You know, he's a player that you have in your list as a key midfielder, as a player for present and future. So I'm sure that he's still in the list of the three clubs. And I want to add AC Milan because AC Milan for Renato Sanches, they wanted to sign him in the last 48 hours of the market, but it was impossible because Lille, as they did for Sven Botman, they did the same for Renato Sanches, untouchable. So there was no way to sign him in January. But I'm sure that AC Milan will be in the race for summer move for Renato Sanches. Arsenal at the moment interest, but still quiet on negotiation side. And let's see what Barcelona and Liverpool will decide to do for midfielders. So open race for Renato, but AC Milan will be into it.
He's definitely leaving, though. I feel it in the summer.
Yes, in the summer, yes.
Yeah, 100%. So there'll be competition for his acquisition. All right, let's move on and let's talk about Aston Villa's former captain, Jack Grealish, the record transfer fee to Man City. Wonderful thing he did this weekend, stopping to hug a 14-year-old fan with cerebral palsy. You know, it just shows sometimes the great human side, and we often forget it in this busy world in the transfer window. But Man City, I'm wondering, you know, there's rumors. I don't know if it's noise, Fabrizio. So the question is, you know, what's happening with Jack Grealish at Man City? Are the rumors that the owners don't like him true?
No, I'm told no. They are still protecting him. They are still backing him. So I don't see anything happening with Jack Grealish on the market, to be honest, this year. Then, of course, they want him to perform at top level. They expect something different from Jack Grealish. We know that his potential is completely different from what we're seeing in his first 6-7 months as Man City player. But at the same point, they know with Pep Guardiola, the first season is never easy. You have to adapt to a new kind of football, to a new kind of mentality. So this is why it's taking time. Also, a lot of competition, and he was not used. He was used to be the star, as you know, better than anyone else at Aston Villa. And now with Man City, it's completely different. They have kind of rotation into the team. And then when you play for Man City, everything can change in 2 or 3 weeks. For example, you score an important Champions League goal and your season and the feeling around you is completely different. So this is why the situation is still under control. I was also speaking with people close to Jack Grealish a few days ago, and they were absolutely relaxed, not worried. So I don't see any problem as of now. Then let's see in the coming months. But as of now, everything is under control between Man City and Jack Grealish.
Yeah, and I remind a lot of people what happened with Riyad Mahrez. He was very quiet at the beginning of his time with Man City. And look, now a champion in more ways than one. So be patient, everybody, of course. All right. So obviously, you know, Fab, when I send this tweet out that we get a Q&A with Fabrizio Romano, the majority of my beautiful followers are obviously Aston Villa fans. So I'm just doing this for them, everybody. It's not for me. The final question is obviously a Villa question. You mentioned, of course, that Coutinho has never been happier, at least as of recent. Now that he's a Villa player, at least on loan, working with Steven Gerrard. This is from Ian. Ian, thank you so much. Will Aston Villa make the Coutinho deal permanent at the end of the season? Where do they go regarding, this is a bigger question for me, where do they go regarding a DM in the summer window?
Talking about Philippe Coutinho, it depends on him. So we will see how the performances will be. I feel that if the performances will continue like this, he has huge chances to join Aston Villa on a permanent move. Let's remind there is buy option around 40 million euros. So they will have a big opportunity to sign him on a permanent. But they are super happy with Coutinho and he's super happy with Villa. We are still in February, so we know that the season is still long and we have to wait a bit and see what happens. Also because signing Coutinho means, okay, a lot of money to give to Barcelona, but also it's about the salary. So they need to be 100% sure of what they will do. It will take some time to decide, but I see positive feelings around Coutinho. So let's see in the coming months what happens. And defensive midfielder, 100% yes. They wanted Bentancur, but then the proposal was not what Juventus were expecting. Also, they were thinking of Boubacar Kamara from Marseille that will be available as free agent. Let's see what he will decide to do. Many clubs are into the race, so it's not going to be easy. And I also have the feelings that I'm not 100% sure that Douglas Luiz will stay at the club in the summer. So this is why maybe they will need to sign 2 players in the midfield. But it depends on the proposals they will receive for Douglas Luiz. But I'm not 100% sure they will stay. So this is why it's going to be interesting for Aston Villa to see what they will decide to do in the midfield in particular.